JCW. This is probably the only hot hatch available in the Indian market, but it comes at a price of 43.5 ex-showroom, which is really costly, but you get a lot of car for your money. Is a typical mini look. You cannot mistake this car for anything else. It has the typical round mini headlights and the very famous scoop on the hood. The whole mini look is completed by the JCW racing stripe, which are by an option on this car, which has been ticked, but I feel that actually completes the whole look of the car. Coming to the side of the car, you can see that it's basically a two-door car, and it's not very big. It's a very small car. But this has the two-tone option, which looks really good with the red roofs and the mirrors with the white paint job. And this also has the optional checkered flag vinyl and the 37 marking on the door, which also really help complete the whole look of the car. This badge on the fender lets you know that you're definitely driving something iconic, and it mentions John Cooper Works. Got the very typical British flag in the taillight, which only launched in the car post 2019. The whole of the car has amazing look and it looks really good. It's got lots of fake cladding, which I don't like. I'm not personally a fan of, but it helps complete the look. And then it's finished off by two center exhaust pipes, which actually sound amazing, but more on that later. Twin 5-spoke alloys on this, which are 17-inch, look really good. And obviously I have to mention the calipers, which are 4-pot Brembo brakes, but the bright red caliper stands out and it actually helps complement the whole theme of the car. Interior is again very mini. I mean, the older minis used to have a tachometer in the center console, but now with the newer ones they've changed it for a nice iDrive screen. The tachometer and the speedometer are in the usual place. This is the most dominating look of the whole interior. You have the AC controls, which are dual zone by the way, and you have a host of toggle switches which are very airplane cockpit type, where you have the start stop button, traction control, drive modes, the stop start hybrid system. All that controls are here, which are very, very cool and very tactile, and they feel very, very nice when you flick it up. The seats are really, really nice. It's got fixed headrests, which is a downside, but it really hugs you, and when you're really pushing this car in the corners, you're not going to feel out of place. The seats hold you really, really nice. You have a small armrest, and then you have the iDrive controls, which is in a very, very odd position. I mean, I really hope this could be in a better position, because to use it you really need to take your eyes off the road, but that's how it is, because I think space is a big constraint in this car, so they had no option but to put it here. But I really wish this was in a better position. Obviously this car in 2020, this car has a old school handbrake, not an electronic parking brake, which is really, really nice, because I really miss this old school handbrakes that the fancy cars don't actually come with anymore. The infotainment also has Apple CarPlay, which you can obviously use with your Apple phones. Unfortunately, it does not have Android Auto, which is a downer. But I hope soon, one day, these cars will come with Android Auto as well. When you get to the tailgate, you realize that it is powered, thankfully. When you open it, then you realize there's actually no boot space at all. You only have one. I have a box here, and you can see that it's already taking up quite a lot of space. Maybe one more of this box can fit here, but the only saving grace is that these seats are 60-40 split, and this is probably going to get you a little bit more room. That's about it. Now I'm behind the wheel of the Mini Cooper JCW, and to start things off, this car has a 2-liter engine that produces 237 bhp, helps the car to go from 0 to 100 in 6.1 seconds roughly, depending on how you launch the car, because this car also does have launch control, but sometimes it doesn't hold the revs very well for a good launch, so that's a little difficult to get a good timing on. But I've tried multiple times. I range from 6.1 to 6.3 seconds, which is really good for a hatchback. And I'm on this windy road, and you can instantly find out that why this car is held as one of the best handling cars in the market, in the world. And I can totally feel it by just driving this car for 10 minutes. The steering is so precise. I can change directions so perfectly. I can change directions. The steering feel, the weight, it's all so perfect. You just want to drive this car harder and harder each time you drive this car. It's so amazing. The ride is really stiff because the suspension is stiff to give you that rigidity, that solidity. The suspension is stiff, and when you go over bumps, you do feel more bumps than you would want to. But I guess that's a very nice trade-off for, able to have that much grip and confidence while actually pushing this car to the limit. The engine itself is amazing unit. There's very nominal turbo lag. Just you need to put the throttle down. I'm currently in eco mode, so you can't even tell that the car is pushing itself. But if I put it into sport mode, right now I'm in middle mode, and if there's a sport mode, and you can hear the engine gets louder, and then it pulls with the paddle, and you can actually see it pulling. Wow, and you can hear the exhaust. This is the 120 kilometers per hour speed limit, the beep, which is a little annoying, which has come after. And you can hear the crackles and pops. If I downshift maybe a little bit more, yep, you can hear the crackles and pops. That's just so nice to do, so nice to hear when you're pushing this car. It helps you drive even faster, even nicer. It's so nice. Overall, the driving package is just super. The 7-speed dual clutch gearbox shifts so perfectly. It's always in the right gear at the right time. You're always driving fast. It's so easy to drive this car fast, and you're still always in control. I just love the way Mini has packaged the whole driving dynamics of this car. It's just spot on. Absolutely love this car. If I'm not a hatchback person, and my friends who know me, they know that I'm always say that I'm not a hatchback person, but if I can make an exception, it's gonna be this hatchback. I think I said the same thing in my Mini convertible review that I had when I had the convertible. I just love this hatchback, and if I can make one exception, it's this very hatchback. I wish I could go rob a bank right now and buy this car. I just cannot stop driving this car. In conclusion then, the Mini Cooper JCW, I think it's the perfect hatchback ever. I might be biased, but I actually love this vehicle so much. It's got great power, it's got great looks, it's got decent equipment. Yes, it does have really horrible rear space, it has horrible boot space, and it's very expensive at 43.5 lakhs ex-showroom. But if you ask me, I'd have this car in a heartbeat, any day, anytime. I absolutely love this vehicle. It's the perfect hatchback for me right now in the market. If you want to go buy one, you should listen to your heart, not your brain. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. And here's an additional engine note.